So yeah, we were just there eating dinner. Nice little night. It's a pretty good restaurant, so I figured it'd be a good night. There's some people behind us. They're having a birthday party, so we were figuring, I was figuring it'd get a little loud, but it's at a restaurant. What you expect. So I was on my my last little drink. Food's already done. I'm a big guy, I eat pretty quick, so I'm taking my last little sip, putting my cup down, and you hear a big bang. And it's like, all right, I'm thinking like, all right, they should pop some champagne. They're turning up back there. I turn to look over and you see a couple of the workers running and you can just see the look on their face. It's like they're scared, there's just like fear. And I'm like, okay, well, you know what this is. Somebody's obviously shooting, so we get down, look at the people across from me. I could see, I thought they were down. So I was like, all right, they're good. And I call him baby uncle because he's a year younger than me, but he's my uncle. I grab him by the shirt. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Get down. He's about to full on sprint to the back kitchen. I was like, what are you doing? So I look over to the side of the island and I notice the guy with the gun and the other guy who originally grabbed him. They're kind of like on the ground fighting for the gun. So I go around, so I go around the island where the gun's actually pointing straight towards us as they're fighting for the gun. I'm like, yo, it's not in my favor right now. So I cut back around the bar, shoot out, get behind him. I pick up a chair on the process. I was going to smack him with a chair, but you couldn't really tell exactly who the gunman was. So I put the chair down, get a further look at it. You can realize the one guy is the one that's the gunman, truly holding the gun. The other guy is just kind of like holding the hammer back, trying not to let it squeeze again because it's a revolver. And so I grab one there, help him get the gun free. We get the gun free. As soon as the gun gets free, I pull the guy into my lap, put in a rear naked choke him out. My baby uncle's standing across from me. He lets me know when the guy goes to sleep. The guy goes to sleep. I get on top. We move everything out of the way. He had a backpack. We didn't know what the backpack had in there. So I just sat on top of him until the cops came, law enforcement. And then they got there pretty quick. And then we were able to do our statements and ultimately head out. I stopped the carjacking not too long ago, but there was no shooting going on. So a little different of a situation, a little different of a scenario. But it's like, no, I mean, I'm a martial artist, self-defense first and foremost. And at the time I feel like that was the proper way to defend myself, and whoever was with me. So it's like, it's fight or flight. I like to believe I fight instead of flying. And situations like that, past life was a past life, at that moment in time, I did what I needed to do though. It went by pretty fast. I mean, probably the worst thing was, it's like once the shooters, down, we got nothing to worry about at this point in time. It's just the hostility of people, maybe when the shooting first started, maybe it was more hostile because the way that people run when, situations like this occur, the way they think that they're running for safety, but really they're just putting everybody else in jeopardy. So it's like, no, I mean, I don't think it was that bad. I think the worst thing is just the reaction that people get a lot of times when things get crazy, and then people want to hurt a person just because, what he's done. I mean, I understand you're upset, but this ain't just, and it's not going to help us whatsoever. We hurt this man, now we're going to jail, you know what I mean? Versus just letting him go and we get to go home and kiss the baby. I always want to go home and kiss the baby. So yeah, I feel like it went by pretty quick. I feel like it could have been a lot longer and it could have got a lot worse. So just thankful for the way it went. Think about it, life we live in, it's past few years, pretty much ever since I've been born, I've always heard about, people with the force, people with the power just going a little too far. And over the past couple of years, with a lot of the incidents that have happened with law enforcement and other people, they always say that the training is not enough. I agree. I agree first and foremost that, the combat training should definitely be higher. That way there's less force that has to be used. So for me, the important thing is nobody was hurt, not even the person that was trying to shoot. You never know. You never know what the person who's committing the crime, you never know what they're going through on a day-to-day basis. You never know if they got fired and now they're trying to rob this place for money or what the case may be to feed their family. I mean, you just never know. So in my eyes, if we can stop a situation without anybody seriously getting hurt, let's stop it without anybody seriously getting hurt. If somebody seriously gets hurt and we have to do something about it, then it's a different story. But, anytime these things happen and people can walk away, maybe his throat's a little sore, but, it's like he's not severely hurt. Nobody went too far, like that makes me feel good, 2020 kind of like, the pandemic kind of changed things for me as far as my schedule with fighting and being allowed to fight a lot. So I got used to being, like on social media or talked about on social media. So no, it's really no big deal. These type of things right here, when situations like this occur, the carjacking or really the shooting, really this one with the shooting, I really don't need or want the attention from that, you know. Now, if certain people who are above me tell me I need to do certain things after these things have been done to, you know, make sure things go smooth, I'll do that, you know. But I don't I don't need nothing from this. You know what I mean? It's like me and my uncle, we made it out safe. The people we were with, they made it out safe. You know what I mean? Everybody that was there that night, we're good to go. We're healthy. For me, I mean, that's all the quote unquote clout or bragging rights or anything that I need just to be able to go home and see my fucking family. You know what I mean? So yeah, the extra stuff, I love it for the fights. Don't get me wrong. I love it for the fights. But if it's outside of the fight world, you know, I, I like to be incognito. You know what I mean? My grandpa's name is Mark. I like to stay in the dark. So that's just the way it is. I'm not the Detroit guy. I don't want to be showing you guys videos and, you know, have you guys in memes a couple minutes later feeling like you're in heaven. So I don't know, man. You get a situation like that. I mean, safety first and foremost, you know, safety first and foremost. Anytime you get in a hostile situation, remain calm, remain collected, remain cool. You know, you ain't got to be. I don't think the guy that originally grabbed the shooter was trained, but he acted, and therefore him acting made it easier for me to act, made it easier for the next person to act, and it made it easier for all of us to be safe. So when you just get in a situation like that, just try and be smart. Just try and react the proper way. And stampeding each other is not always the proper way. And I'm always going to be a firm believer of that. You know, don't stampede each other. Don't kill each other just because out of fear. You know what I mean? Be calm, be cool, collected, and try and observe the situation before you go do anything. I was going to Houston to pay Crew Bob, you know, for coming to corner me, even though he didn't want any money. Crew Bob's such a wonderful coach. But I was going out there to Houston to get Crew Bob his check and to get the Black Beast, Derek Lewis, his shoes, and to let my little brother see the gym that I train at when I'm out in Houston because he loves to train as well. And just let him get the vibe, you know, and took my family out there to do some shopping and stuff like that just to get ready for, you know, spring breaks here. So we want to go back to school after spring break looking right, looking tight. So yeah, we went out there just to have a good time. You know what I mean? And you know, right place at the right time, I guess. You know, I ain't saying I'm happy to be in a situation like that, but everything happens for a reason, and I'm just happy everybody's safe. So it's like, yeah, next time I go to Houston, I won't be going for sushi. I promise you that. I grew up in California, all over California. Lived in Vegas a little bit. Came to Texas when I was in the seventh grade. Went back to California. Came back here as an adult. My mom took my little brother here a long time ago, and when I was younger, me and my brother have like a 14, 15-year age gap. So it's just hard for me to be away from my little guy. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just came out here. I tried to go home a couple of times after being a grown up, but between gas prices and the price of living, I didn't want to go back home to California. I'm a Texas native since 18 years old. You know what I mean? 29 now. So